This multi-million-dollar Warbird lay hidden here for 80 years. The Wasps claimed it first, but today, we take it back. Thousands of angry tenants protect this cockpit. One wrong move and this restoration ends before we even turn a bolt. Finding a rare Black Widow in the woods is a miracle. Finding one intact is completely impossible. Let's look closer. The military abandoned her in 1945. Nature spent the next 8 decades trying to digest the aluminum frame. Beneath this layer of rot sits historical gold. This star hasn't seen the light of day since World War II. This is structural rot. If the main spar is completely compromised, this entire multi-million-dollar treasure is just scrap metal. The weight of the plane has welded these tires into the earth. Moving it without destroying the gear is a nightmare. The twin-row radial engines are completely packed with dirt. I hope the pistons aren't completely seized by rust. One strong storm could have ripped these panels away forever. We arrived just in time to save her skin. The cockpit looks like a terrarium. Water has been pouring onto these rare flight instruments for decades. Looters have been here over the years. They stole the flight gauges, leaving behind a jigsaw puzzle of dead wiring. This structural fissure is deep. If we don't weld a reinforcing plate here, the tail will snap under its own weight. Nature is literally holding this Warbird hostage. Every route must be surgically excised before the restoration transport arrives.
The nose cone looks like it took enemy fire, but it's just 80 years of winter storms and falling timber.
She is hooked up. The rescue phase is officially over, and the real violence of reconstruction begins now. The first step in the shop is eviction. We can't rebuild history with thousands of wasps defending the cockpit. This nest was baked onto the aluminum for years. Scraping it feels like carving ancient clay off limestone. The grinder reveals a secret. Beneath 80 years of forest rot, the original military metal is still rock solid. These bolts haven't moved since they were torqued in a California factory in 1945. They aren't happy. The original glass is completely ruined by UV rays and forest impacts. It must be completely destroyed to be rebuilt. Pulling these gauges is like pulling teeth from an old dragon. Every component fights back with decades of corrosion. Taking apart a night fighter requires heavy industrial support. These propeller blades weigh more than an entire modern car. The factory used a thick adhesive sealer between these panels in 1945. It turned into concrete over 80 years. Sandblasting is the ultimate eraser. It tears through decades of rot in a fraction of a single second. This industrial stripper dissolves history down to the bone. Watch the original olive drab camouflage melt away into slime. The water blast washes away 80 years of forest grime and chemical sludge, leaving nothing but naked military engineering. We have to amputate the dead metal. If we leave a single speck of rot behind, it will spread. Smoothing out these cuts creates a perfect seat for the new structural aluminum plates we are about to forge. She is entirely naked now. No camouflage, no dirt. Every single grain of sand from the blast phase must be extracted before we bring in the new metal. Rivet holes must be surgically clean. Even a trace of oxidation inside a hole can ruin a fresh rivet. We are fabricating replacement skins from scratch. Precision layout is the difference between an airworthy panel and scrap metal. Hand-cutting aircraft aluminum builds serious grip strength. This metal is incredibly tough, but it obeys the shears. Bending a perfect flange requires one smooth, continuous motion. Jerking the handle will distort the aluminum line completely. This offset crimp allows the new panel to sit completely flush with the original 1945 skin lines.
Raw-cut aluminum edges are sharp enough to slice open a glove instantly. We deburr every inch for safety. These are the future homes for our structural rivets. Every hole must align perfectly with the hidden frame beneath. The prep is finished. The raw ingredients are made. Now, we begin the masterclass of structural assembly. Welding aviation aluminum is an art. The metal conducts heat so fast you have to move like lightning. Each ripple is a testament to consistency. A single hiccup ruins the structural integrity of this tail spar. Quenching the weld locks the metal structure in place. The tail boom is officially whole again. English wheel doesn't use force, it uses flow. We are stretching the aluminum atom by atom. A quarter turn of this tension knob adds hundreds of pounds of pressure. One mistake creates a dent. This is how they did it in the factory during the war. Pure muscle memory and acoustic feedback. The planishing hammer hits thousands of times per minute. It erases the heavy mallet dents into mirror-flat curves. Like a glove, the custom curved nose skin snaps directly onto the 1945 bulkheads with zero resistance. Clecos are an aircraft builder's best friend. They hold the entire fuselage together before the permanent rivets go in. A uniform 0.5 millimeter gap across the entire panel length. This keeps airflow perfectly smooth at 300 miles an hour. Driving rivets requires teamwork between both hands. One pushes, one bucks. The sound is music to my ears. Not a single proud rivet. Every head sits dead flush with the skin, exactly how Northrop intended it in 1945. Surface preparation begins with brute force. 80 grit paper shapes the metal transitions and levels out the heavy weld lines. Moving up to 120 grit. Every progressive step scratches away the deeper valleys left behind by the previous paper. The dual-action sander prevents deep directional gouges. It creates a completely flat, non-reflective surface that reveals low spots. This black guide coat powder is a truth teller. It acts like an X-ray for microscopic dents on raw metal. See that tiny black speck left behind? That's a micro-depression. The sanding block won't clear it until it's perfectly flat. A gentle touch brings the low spot home. Heavy slamming will stretch the metal too far, creating an unfixable oil can bubble. Perfect flatness achieved. The transition between the 1945 original skin and our new panel is officially invisible to the hand. Cleaning off the sanding residue reveals the final raw metal masterpiece. This skin is officially ready to receive its protection layer. The structural metalwork is done. The ancient night fighter is physically whole again. Next, we paint her in the deepest shadow.
Epoxy primer is the foundation of a Concord paint job. It locks out oxygen, preventing any future subsurface corrosion.
First coat of primer is locked down. The entire aircraft is now one single, uniform shade of industrial gray. The squeegee reveals our hard work. Not a single scratch or ripple remains. This primer is officially ultra smooth. This is original specification midnight black paint. It absorbs light like a black hole. Time to give this widow her color.
Watch the gray void transform into a rich, deep, midnight shadow. The true identity of the night fighter returns.
Consistency is everything during the color coat. The spray gun must move at a uniform speed to prevent pooling. The base coat is down. The whole plane is covered in a beautiful, non-reflective, tactical black skin. Next comes depth. This is the magic moment. The clear coat turns the dull black paint into a wet, deep mirror. 3 coats of high solids clear will give this midnight black paint an absolute ocean of depth. The paint is fully cured, but we aren't done. We wet sand the clear coat to erase any tiny dust nibs. It looks scary to scratch a fresh paint job, but this ultra-fine block sanding levels out the micro texture completely. The compound cuts away the micro scratches. Watch the true mirror finish explode back into life behind the wool pad. The paint is officially a mirror. You can read the serial numbers on our tools in this black reflection. Absolutely flawless. Now we bring out the details. Polishing the propeller hubs adds the perfect bright contrast to that midnight black airframe. No detail is too small for a museum-grade restoration. Every gauge bezel must shine like jewelry. The command deck is coming back alive. These original olive drab seats look exactly like they did on the assembly line. Installing these rare flight instruments is delicate work. One slip of the screwdriver and a priceless gauge face is ruined. This is the heart of the Black Widow. The airborne radar system made this plane the ultimate predator of the wartime night skies. Every single cylinder cooling fin has been individually polished. Rewiring this 2800 radial engine ensures mechanical perfection. Torque to spec. The fuel lines are officially sealed. This radial engine looks ready to fire up right now. Out with the broken forest glass, in with the pristine optical plexiglass. The view from this cockpit is finally clear again. Sealing up the canopy keeps moisture out forever. This ensures the museum environment stays outside the cockpit boundaries.
The canopy is officially buttoned up, sealing the pilot deck into a secure, airtight capsule of history. No more sinking into the mud. These massive, brand-new tires will hold this 40,000-pound night fighter proud on museum floors.
The final click means structural safety. The landing gear is officially certified to take the full weight of history. Unmasking the hand-painted nose art brings back the plane's soul. She isn't just an aircraft anymore, she's a legend.
From an insect-infested forest grave to an immaculate work of aviation art, the contrast is completely unbelievable. 80 years of damp earth tried to reclaim this gear. Today, it stands proud, clean, and completely indestructible.
The mechanical heart was completely choked with rot. Now, it looks like a Swiss watch built for war.
We cut away the cancer of time and forged an unbroken sheet of black shadow. The skin is seamless. There she is, the rarest night fighter in the world, completely restored to museum-grade perfection.
The nose lines are aggressive and clean. The historical artwork shines bright, honoring the brave crews who flew into the dark.
This wing is an absolute sea of black glass. You cannot find a single blemish across 70 feet of aluminum.
The twin-row radial engine is a symphony of steel and aluminum. It stands completely restored, clean, and historically perfect.
Looking inside is like stepping back into 1945. Every dial is functional, every switch is authentic, every detail is reborn. The tail structure is completely sound. The star insignia rides proud on a background of absolute midnight gloss black paint.
The chrome is a perfect mirror. It anchors the front of the aircraft with a brilliant blast of reflective light.
She stands tall on her own wheels again. The stance is aggressive, powerful, and ready to dominate the history books.
We didn't just save an old airplane. We preserved a priceless piece of aviation history for generations to come.
Every original stenciled letter has been faithfully recreated. The operational identity of this night fighter is officially complete. The Black Widow is reborn, saved from the forest, restored by hand, ready to shine forever in the halls of history. These 4 belly cannons were completely rusted solid. Now, they look ready to defend the night sky once again. Finding parts for this dorsal turret took us 6 months of searching through military archives and surplus depots. The nose art is completely hand-painted, matching the exact historical squadron markings from 1935 down to the millimeter. The twin tail booms are structurally perfect now. The alignment is as true as the day she left the factory. 66 feet of wingspan, completely finished in a flawless midnight glass surface. It looks absolutely spectacular from above. The throttle quad was frozen solid with rust. Now it slides as smooth as silk, ready for action. Closing the final structural access panel brings our journey to an end. Every single door is flush. The Curtiss electric propellers are fully balanced. They stand as a testament to classic mid-century industrial aviation engineering. Electrical systems check out perfectly. Even the original style navigation lights are fully functional once again. Turning off the hangar overheads reveals her true nature. She is the Black Widow, designed for darkness. The cockpit glow is hauntingly beautiful. This radar interface helped guide crews safely through midnight enemy territory. The custom nose art graphics stand as a tribute to the legendary pilots who flew these planes in World War II. Even the hidden wheel wells are finished to concourse standards. Every hydraulic line was replaced and polished to absolute perfection. Opening the hangar doors brings her out into the world. Watch how the natural sunlight bounces off that black lacquer. There isn't a single distortion in the metalwork. The sunburst reflection glides across the aluminum paneling like liquid water.
80 years ago, she was lost in a dark forest. Today, she sits proudly.
We leave our mark on this legend. This builder plate ensures the story of this restoration lives on. As night falls, the Black Widow returns to her natural element. The midnight black paint completely vanishes into the evening. The glowing glass canopy looks completely magical in the dark. It is a direct window into the year 1945.
This priceless, multi-million-dollar treasure is officially saved from destruction. History.
The Black Widow lives again. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey of preserving history down to the absolute final detail.